Hello everyone. So today I'm going to explain the different methods of HashMap, the implementation of those method and like use of those method, like how we are going to use those method. Like HashMap having a lots of method, like it's having a clear, clone, isEmpty, size, putAll, putIfAbsent, removed, compute, getOrDefault, computeIfAbsent, computeIfPresent, keySet values. So it's having a lots of methods actually internally, so that actually are used in a, like whenever we're going to write any kind of HashMap functionalities or any kind of trying to save data into the data or maybe clear some data from the HashMap. So in the same time we're going to use those methods. So today I'm going to explain like use of those things, like how you're going to use those method. With that also, like I will write some kind of small programs which will basically show those functionalities. So let's start with the clear method. So for example, we are having a hash map, and then we are going to use put some data into hash map, and then we are going to hash map a clear method. So how we are going to use this one? So like clear method. So for that, I am going to use like hash map dot clear. For example, just to demonstrate this one. So as you know, like clear methods actually doesn't take any parameters. Even clear methods actually doesn't return any value. Uh, it actually makes the changes to the hash map. So for example, like if we are having some methods uh, for example, if we take one example for hash map, so like hash map hash map string and string. Okay, so for example, numbers equals to new hash map. Okay, now okay, now we are going to put some data over here. So how we are now if we put the data inside of it, so here basically we are providing key and value pair. So like for example, like 1, and here basically we can put some data over here. Next, for example, 2, then 2, and now basically we can print this one. How we are going to print it? We just need to use some kind of sysout system.out.println for printing the data, like hash map record. Okay, so here we are just going to only numbers. Okay, and then basically we are going to use this numbers dot clear for clearing the data from the hash map. Okay, so we can clear. Now we can print again. Okay, okay, so now if we run this one, then let's see what it will print. As you can see, so before clear data from the hash map, it's having a 2 records, 1 and 2. So it's printed over here. And after the clear, once we execute this clear methods for the hash map, so it will clean all the data from the hash map. So that's why it's having a empty records. So this is kind of the use of the uh, clear one. Okay. Next, basically, we're going to use the clone method. So for clone, we are again going to create like another class over here, like clone. Okay, clone. So this clone basically, I'm just putting over those things. So uh, the shallow copy means, as you know, the copies, there's a one two things, basically shallow copy and the deep copy. So the shallow copy means the like key and values are not copied, instead of the difference of the key values are copied basically. Okay, so that it's a different part basically. So clone method also is doesn't take any parameter, and the it's also like returns the copy of the hash map instances. So how we are going to use this one? So like this is, for example, this is the hash map, and then we are going to use this one. For example, uh, let's say we are going to use the over here clone. Okay, and here basically we are going to use copy clone numbers. Okay, clone numbers. So we need to cast over here. Okay, so we need to cast over here, and then if we print this one, then again run this one. So what it will return? It will return as the same copy. Okay, here the sequence is different because HashMap doesn't maintain the order actually, so that's why it's actually uh, like doesn't mean, but the data is same. Like 1 2 is the key, 1 2 is the key, and value is also same. So here basically this clone, like numbers dot clone, it's actually basically returns the object of this one. Okay, and this basically converts this one, like the casting one, this one basically uh, convert the object basically returned by the clone into a hash map. Okay, like string type key and the string type values. So this is the things, or else like we can directly print instead of this one, like here we can also like print this one also directly, like this one. Okay, this is also, you can, it will also like print the data over here, like let me run this one. So you can see this is also printed over here. So this is the like this is the way that basically we can use the like clone method of this one of HashMap. Okay, next basically we are going to explain the isEmpty method of the HashMap. Okay, so for this isEmpty we are going to create another method like HashMap isEmpty. I will put those classes in a Git repo so that like we can get the code for this one. So isEmpty, it's also like method. This method basically doesn't take any input, any parameters basically, and isEmpty also doesn't return any value. Returns, it's this basically this isEmpty method. It's returns true if the HashMap doesn't contain any like key value mappings, and it will return false if the hash map contains any key value like mapping for this one. Okay, now like how we are going to use this one is empty. So for example, let me like put some, create some first empty. So this is the empty hash map. So here basically I can use this is empty method, like this numbers dot is empty. Okay, so as you can see this method basically returns the booleans. Okay, and then we are putting some data over here in numbers. Okay, here, so once we have put data over here, then like we can use this numbers dot is empty over here also, is empty. Okay, now we can delete this one as we don't need those things. Now if we run this one, so first of all, it will be true because we have just created the instance of the hash map. So initially we have not put any data over here. So that's why it's a empty, like it will come as a true. And here we have put some more data over here like 1 and 2. So that's why map is having a data. So that's why it will come as a false, as you can see over here. Okay. So this is how, this is the way that we can use the is empty. Okay. Next, we can use the size is a there is a one methods is there. So again, like this is doesn't take any parameters, and it will return the number of key value mappings present in the hash map. For example, like here, as you can see over here, we have initially we have doesn't have any data, so it will return as a 0, and it's having a data 2 records, so it will give us the 2. So if we like use the same data over here, like here basically we can use dot size, okay, and here we can put some string just to understand size is equal to this one, and same we can put over here. Okay, so let me run this one. As you can see, initially it doesn't have any records key value pairs, so that's why it's give us the 0 records, and then the second it's having a 2 records, so that's why we are getting a 2. Okay, so this is the another function like methods of this hash map. These are the like very small methods. Next basically we use the put. So the put is basically used to like put the records into the hash map. So here, as you can see over here, we are using the put already. So it's take basically two parameters. One is the key, another one is the value. Okay, so and like if the key is already associated with any value, so it will return the previous values, and if the key is not associated with any values, then it will return as a null. Okay, so that already like how we are going to put some records, so that already like here using the put we can use those things. So and if we put some duplicate key, okay, then what it will do, it will basically replace the value of it is. So for example, like here, if we put some data over here, like instead of 2 we are putting 4, so let me run this one. Okay, if we run this one, okay, we need to print the like map also. Okay, so let me print this one. Here we need to clean this one. Okay, now if we run this one, okay, as you can see, the 2 we have means we have put the duplicate key over here. So basically 2 is having a value is 2, but now it's updated with the 4. Means if we try to put the duplicate value over here, so it will basically replace with the updated value. So this is the functions of putting the data, how we are going to put the data into the map. Next is coming as a putAll. Okay, so putAll basically it's takes a single parameter. This is basically a map that contains a mapping to be inserted into the hash map. Okay, putAll basically returns it doesn't return any values. So how we are going to use this one? For example, if we are having a like there is a one map, this is the numbers. If we create another map, like let me create the another map over here, like number, and maybe like for example odd number. Okay, okay, so in the odd number basically we'll put some data. Okay, for example 1 3, okay, then 5, and then like 7. So these are the like odd number. Okay, 3 5, then 7. Okay, now if we use to putAll, like here basically in the numbers we are going to use this putAll dot putAll. Here basically we are going to use the odd numbers. Now let me print this one. So what it will print, let's see, it will actually merge all the records into a singles. Okay, so here basically we're using the numbers. As you can see 5 1 7, so it will actually combine these two maps. So this is basically doing this uh, like this merge means putAll one. Okay, there is another things so this is the way that basically we can use the putAll for um, used to add some another map. So this is the one. Next, basically we can use another method which is put if it's absent actually. Okay, this is the another method, put if absent. Okay, so I am most of the time trying to cover like most of the methods in a single class. So here basically we are going to use putIfAbsent these methods. So it's also again like taking a key value pair, uh, and this method like key and value. So value is associated with the key and the value is the key is mapped with the value. This basically returns the value associated with the key. If we use the putIfAbsent, this is returns the value associated with the key. If the key is already present in the hash map, then it will return the value. Okay, and return null if the key is already not present into the hash map. So like if you take one example, for example maybe these numbers if we take, so let me clean this one. Okay, odd numbers, and here basically if we used like odd numbers, put if absent. So like if it is absent, then we are going to put, so for example 9. Okay, if it is absent, then put this value. Okay, so it will print the data. Let me run this one. So it will be added the 9. Now if we used put if absent like 7, and maybe we can use some different number just to understand that it will replace the same key or not. Now if I run this application, okay, now you can see the 7 is having a 7 value, but we have updated it with the 10, like if it is already absent but it is not added, basically it is not updated, means this is only work if it is absent, then only it will actually update it, like this one. Okay, so this is the thing for put if absent. Okay, this is how it is work. Okay, so next basically we're going to use there is another methods, the removed. As we know, we are already having a clear methods, but remove also is there having like here it's taking a two parameters, basically key and value. So we need to key basically what key basically we need to remove. Our value is optional. If we see this one over here, dot removed. So here is a key and key value pair. Okay, so removed, if we remove this particular key, then it will automatically maybe if we are putting this 7, so it will remove the key from this one. Okay, and if we use the like value, it's optional. So the value should also be matched. If it is not matched, then it will not remove the data. Like I'm explaining the example. Like 7 is removed. Now suppose if we try to remove uh, for example 5. Okay, and instead of 5 maybe if we put 50, then let's see what it is doing. It's not removed because if we provided the value, then it should also match also. Now let me try with the 5. Okay, as you can see, those two values were removed. So this is the functionalities of the removed. Next basically there is another method, it's a like containsKey. So containsKey parameter basically takes a single parameter which is a key. What it will do, it will returns true if the mapping for the specified key is present into the hash map, then only it will return the true, else false. Like if the key is not over there, then it will return the false. How we are going to use this one? Something like if like odd numbers, this map like contains this key. Okay, so here basically we are going to use this particular, for example 7, and let me this one. Okay, also this one. Then we are like putting some records over here, like data key exist. Okay, so let me run this one. Key exist. Now suppose we provide some another key which is not exist into the means hash map, then it will not print this one, means it is not exist. So in this way basically the contents key is working. Okay, so in a like business scenarios, maybe there is some certain logics that basically we are going to use. So in this like if data is already there, then we are going to add some data. If not, then we are not going to add some data. So this method basically used in this particular scenario. Okay. Next, basically we can check the contents value. So this contents value also it's take a single parameter like value, uh, it's present or not in one or more mapping. So it will return true if the value is present, and it's return the false if value is not present. So it's also like we can do some operations. So instead of contents key, basically we are having the contents value, as you can see over here. So again, like we can put some logic over here based on the like need, whatever the need we are having. So instead of key, we can put the value like if we see like 5. Okay, so we can say value exist. Okay, you can see value exist. Now if we like provide some data which is not the value is not exist, so in that scenario it's not actually print those data. So this is the way basically we can use these methods. Contains value also is one of them. So next basically is also having some another methods. So now like we'll check about the another method of HashMap that basically used. It is a replace. So the syntax of the replace is like replace. It's having a like either 2 parameters or 3 parameters. If we are going to use the 2 parameter, then it's having a like key and the value, new value, which will be replaced with the old value. And the old value actually it's optional. If you see like if we want to check this one, like the replace, like this one replace. This one. Okay, so as you can see over here, this replace having a two values, key and value. So this value having a like new values, and this replace having a like three values, which is like key, old value and the new value. So this old value basically is optional. Okay, you can see this old value is optional, and the new value will be like it will be like which value basically replace with the old values. And this replace values returns like the previous values associated with the specified key if the optional parameter is not present, and if like the old value is present, then it will return either true or false. Okay, now if we see the example of this one, like how it is working. So now suppose if we are going to replace the value of 7 with something else, so then how we are going to use this one. Okay, so I am just using the same method over here, like replace object key and like value. Okay, so for example the key is like for example 7 CVEN. Okay, then like we can replace with 17 for example. Okay, now it will like as you can see it's return the boolean, not remove. Actually you are using the replace, so that's why I was thinking. Okay, it's a replace. So is replace basically return the string, it will return the old values like old value. Okay, HashMap plus we can old value. Old value. Okay, now if we run this one, you can see the old value is coming as a 7. So previously it's a 7, now it's a 17. So this is the basically use of the replace. Now if we like use the three values like replace with 7 and then 17, then basically it's return a boolean. Okay, means either it will be a success or false. So now if we print this one old number, okay, now if we run this application, then you will get true. Now suppose instead of 17, if I use the 7 like 17 instead of, because the value is 7, now if I use this 17, then what it will give us a false, because the combination of 7 and this 17 is not over here, it's a 7. So if we want to pass this one, then it will be actually the match this one value, then it will actually give us the true, else it will be a false. So this is basically replace functionalities of this one. So this is the one kind of thing. Now the put, there is a put also like replace the put also like add the values into the map, and also we are having the like values for like put and replace also doing the replace. So what is the difference between basically? So put basically also able to add the data into the in if some key is not over there, so it will basically add those things, but it will actually not do so. Okay, so this is the thing about the replace. In the next, basically we are going to use the replace all. So it's having another method like replace all. It will basically now I'm going to explain the use of like the replace all methods of the hash map. As you can see over here, I have already like write this statement over here. So what it is doing, it is taking like one function as an input. It as you can see this details of this one. So it's taking only one input as a function, actually taking as an input this replace all method. It's here basically we can pass the key and value, and with the we can uh, we can customize the value, like we can update the value. As you can see over here, whatever the value is over, we can iterate over here. We can just concatenate the this particular string. Okay, so this is basically just append this one, or you can like manipulating this value, like that can be, if it is integer we can casting into the integer, then we can like maybe do some square, do some addition, do some subtraction. So all those operation we can do over here. So this is the function of the replace all. Okay, so let me run this one so that we can understand. And this replace all basically it's a void, it doesn't return anything, it just only update the value. Okay, now if I like let me comment this one and run this one. Okay, so you can see it's updated value. Okay, now like if we there is another method actually, the get. So this get method basically is taking as a object key any key, like it's a string, it's an integer, long. So whatever the key we can use, based on the key it will basically return as the data, return as the value. So as you can see over here, this 3 actually basically over here, and this where we are getting, so it will return as the 3. As you can see, the get value is 3. Okay, so this is the use of this get. Another method is basically that is getOrDefault. What it is do, what it will do, it will basically whatever the key we will pass over here for getting the values, if this particular value key is available in the map, they need to return the corresponding values, then it will ignore this default value. If the particular key is not exist into the map, then it will return the default value, whatever the default value will pass over here, then it will return the values, those things. So for example, if we run this one, then it will, you can understand easily. Okay, like this one. like this 3 is already exist over here, so that's why we're getting this test, this 3 test. And as this key is not exist, not available in the map, that's why we're getting this default value as a output. So this is the use of this get or default. Okay, so this is the thing about this get or default. Next, basically we can use the forEach. So as you know, HashMap, like forEach method takes actually single parameter, like the action to be performed on the map. As you know, the forEach basically uh, it's doesn't return any value, and using this we can do customized operation. We can, as we are doing for the for loops, so how it will look like something like the maps, like map, and then we are going to dot forEach, as you can see over here. And here basically we can do some operations like uh, we can pass this key comma value, and then here basically we can do some customized operations over here, like maybe we can do some over here, we can do some update the value, like value equals to updated, instead of whatever it is, then it will add this one. And then like we can pin the value, key and value over here, like sys out we can do like key and value. Okay, so something like key plus k plus, okay, so it will print. Let me run this one. As you can see, it's like key, and this is the value. So this is the updated also that we have updated, and this is the thing. So for each basically it's a kind of for loop, as we are doing for the for loop. So using this also you can do the things uh, for loop, like if similar kind of things we can iterate using the for each also. So this is the basically thing about the like for each, like here basically it's a kind of the lambda expression that is basically reduce the some lots of more boilerplate code, right? So this is basically for each. There is another method is called the entrySet. This methods basically doesn't take any parameters, and it is return set of view of all the entries of the HashMap. Using this basically we can just like kind of uh, like iterate. If we want to iterate those things, then we can easily iterate something like let me show you, iterate over map. So as you can see here, it is taking this one like dot entrySet, so it's written all the data over here, and we can pass this. So like here basically string and string, then we can like map we need to import, and then we can get the value of string, and then also here basically string, then we can like put those value over here like k or v. This is similar approach actually for putting the values. So this is also one of the approach for like iterate, as you can see over here, instead of this one. So key value pair this, okay, this is key and this is value. So this is the like thing for entrySet. As you know, like entrySet is doesn't take any parameter, and it returns the set of view of all entries of a HashMap. That is the things for entrySet. And we can it's a kind of like we can also directly like put the entries instead of key value pair, something like here. Okay, so if we now run this one, so you can see this is the entry, means it's also like in the entry you can get this one like the key and then value. So this is also it will print. So this is the thing for entrySet. Now like next we'll check about the keySet. This is also like similar kind of thing. It doesn't take any parameter, but it also returns a set of view of all the keys of the HashMap. like this one, like sys out keys ys. Okay, so this is dot keySet. So it's basically return all the keys. If we run this one, then you can get all the keys over here. So this is basically returns all the keys for this one. Like using the keySet also we can try using the forEach loop, we can also iterate those things. It will return all the values, all the keys from the hash map. This is also one of the methods for getting all the keys from the hash map. So this is the use for the keySet. Okay, it's having some other four or five methods. So there's also I will explain, like values, merge, computeIfAbsent, computeIfPresent. Okay. So like these classes, like as these are doing some kind of all the like functionalities. So instead of these names, let me rename with some other name, generic name, HashMap functionalities, FUNC functionalities underscore 4. Okay. Finished. And maybe it's a kind of 1. Okay, it's 2, it's 3. Okay, so next basically I'm going to use there is another methods like entry keySet. There is another like methods actually which is HashMap basically provides, which is like values. So it will returns basically all the values of the like HashMap like values. Okay, so if you run this one, you can see like this will return all the values. As you can see, this will return all the values. Then it is doesn't take any parameter. It returns collections of view of the all values from the collections HashMap. Okay. Next is like merge. Okay. So merge is something like if any specified key is already associated with a value, then like method replace the old value with the result of the specified function. Okay, if it is already associated with some value, then it will like replace the old value with some whatever the we will define the functions, so that will basically it will replace. Here's take three parameters. One is the key, second one is the value, and the third one is the functions. So key is obviously which key basically are going to merge. Value is to be the value to be associated with the key if key is already associated with any values, and the remapping functions we can say in the third variable parameters, it will be result to be associated with any key if the key is already associated with values. Okay, this merge functions actually returns values, returns the like new value associated with this key, and if there is no value associated, then it will return basically null. Now if we take one example over here, like we are already having these odd numbers. So for example, let me show this one dot merge. Okay, so this is basically we need to provide the like key, for example like 3. Okay, this 3, and then like we need to provide some values over here like 6, or maybe 3 is having the value like 3 and test. Okay, and then like the another value. Okay, merge check. Actually it's taking the functions. Okay, so that's why it's not doing those things. So like we need to provide some kind of lambda expressions like old value and the new value. Okay, old comma new. Okay, and here basically we need to do some kind of operations like old plus new. Okay, now as you can see, it will return the string, means it will return the old value. Now if we print the like hash map, okay, updated values. Okay, let me run this one. As you can see, the 3, it's updated, right? Old plus new. So 3 is already over here, as you can see. So it's already like associated the value with this 3 is 3 test, and again we are like adding this one, okay, newly value. So that's why basically it's this particular key updating with this value, as you can see over here, right? Now suppose if we take another example, which basically if we don't have any key, like for example the values and the key for this 5973. So if we take the 1, for example, 1 key is not exist. So if we do so, for example this one, then let's like run this one. Let's see what it will do. So it will basically, let me run this one so that you'll that one. Okay, so it will basically just add this value over here with this value. So that means if the value is key is not over here in the map, then it will like update insert this one. If the value is over there, then it will append the value with this one. So this is the basically functionalities of the merge. Okay, there is another methods called like compute. So compute actually basically taking two parameters, which is one is the key, which is like associated with the value, which is the value computed value to be associated, and the next is the remapping functions. So compute basically returns the value, returns the new value if any key is over there. If returns, it will return null if the key is there is no values associated with it. So basically we can use directly compute like map dot compute, and with that also like we can provide the key, for example 1, and then we can update it with the new value, something like here we need to pass this like by functions or like something called the lambda functions, and here like we can provide something like maybe space or something. Okay, so it will basically we can provide this one key, and then it will accordingly update it. So now if we like run this one updated whatever like by functions were there, means it will replace the one key with this empty values. As you can see over here, the one is with the empty value. So this is basically compute is basically do, means we can also do some kind of the calculations over here for this particular key, then accordingly it will like do their operations. Okay, so this is the kind of things for the compute. Next is like something called the compute if absent. Okay, so it's basically taking two parameters. One is the key and another is the function. So it will basically compute if the key is not over there. So for example, it's having like this key 5, 1, 9, 7 and 3. So suppose if we are trying to put any data which is not exist into the map, then it will calculate and put the data over there. If try to do some operations, if already is data there, then it will actually ignore this, ignore the data actually. Okay, so if we want to like do some kind of operations for this one, like odd numbers dot compute if absent. So here basically we are going to do some operations 1, and then like maybe we can here basically uh, for example this equals to, for example, 100. Okay, we are trying to put the update the value, but 1 is already there, right? 1 is already over there. So let me print this one, what it will print. Okay, if we run this one, As you can see, the one key is not updated with this 100, right? But it should be. But as you can see, if absent, then only it will put this one. Now, if we do the similar operations for, as you can see, 1, 2 is not here. So if we put the 2 over here, so it will basically calculate and it will insert the data over here. Now you can see the 2, yes, 2 is 100. Okay, that means this data already like imported. So this is the thing for compute one. And computeIfAbsent, there is another method called computeIfPresent. Okay, it's also taking two parameter like key, and the second one is the functions. So it will returns the new values. So like if present, then only it will calculate. If not present, then it will not calculate anything. So something like, let me do some operations for this one also. Compute if present, if present. So as you know, this 2 is over there, so we can do some operations over here. Okay, so like if we do some like value plus, if we add this one, so it will like whatever the value over there, so it will append. Okay, now if I run this one, as you can see, this 2 is updated, right? So this is the kind of thing that we can do with the compute if present, compute if absent. So those kind of functions having this HashMap. So this is the kind of like pre means primarily basically used and all those functions for HashMap. So these are the kind of little bit of implementation how we are going to use those methods in while you are going to use the HashMap. So these are the list of functions that I'm explain over here. So if you guys have anything, please do let me know in the comment sections. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.